Actor and global superstar Deepika Padukone launched her skincare brand 82 East last November with 2 products. 1 year, several products later, we are catching up with Deepika herself to share her journey, her entrepreneurial journey over the past 1 year and journey of 82 East along with co-founder Jigar Shah. Welcome to CNBC-TV18, Deepika. Welcome to CNBC-TV18, Jigar.
Thank you for inviting us.
So Deepika, let's begin with you. Tell us about your journey over the past 1 year with 82 East and what are the key learnings of this journey?
Oh, wow. Well, I think the journey's been extremely gratifying, but at the same time, I think we've also learned a lot. You know, when you embark on any new journey, and especially an entrepreneurial journey, of course, I think we were set for, you know, that it's going to be a lot of work, especially because we decided that we wanted to do this ourselves ground up. You know, and there were a lot of offers before we got into this for us to partner with people and for me to just put my name to something and do it. But I think I was very, very clear that this is something I wanted for us to do on our own. So of course, with that in mind, sure, we launched last November, but you know, we've been working on the brand for a good 2 years before that.
Yeah.
So of course, you know, I think one was prepared for the amount of work that goes into building a brand. But I think post-launch, you realize that actually that's where the journey begins. Yeah. You know, it's not like you've launched and then it's over. That's actually where the real work starts. Yes. So it's definitely been a lot more work than you know, than I had anticipated, but very, very gratifying. And I think, like you said, when we started with 2 products, now we have 12 products in our portfolio. We're gearing up for other categories as well. So yes, it's been very, very, and also to see our community grow. But most importantly, to also see the kind of feedback that we've received for all of our products, for all of our communication, consumer feedback. I think all of that has been very, very gratifying, and I think that's the energy that we get from our consumers to keep going every day.
Yeah, and you mentioned 12 products now, with 2 products last year and 12 products now, and new categories that you're getting into. Jigar, if you can share more details on the new categories that are coming up for 82 East.
I think you'll know very soon, so stay tuned. But I can say that they're very, very exciting, more like a natural extension of what we've done so far. And yeah, that's all I can talk about right now.
Is it something else?
Well, I mean, I think they'll always be within the realm of self-care because that's at the end of the day, we are a self-care brand. It's something that means a lot to me. In my own personal journey, self-care has been a huge part in how I'm able to function on a daily basis. And so therefore, we were very, very clear that the core of it is a self-care brand. And you know, the fact that there was a gap in the market combined with, I think I fell in that place, which was, I personally felt, I think we had reached a place where skincare was extremely overwhelming. Complex routines, multiple steps, you know, multiple brands selling you different ideas. And I was actually that person that felt overwhelmed by the amount of information. And I'm on that side that, you know, I didn't have that much knowledge about skincare, but I wanted for whatever I used, for it to be simple, but at the same time be extremely effective.
And a lot of Indian ingredients is something that I have noticed. Ashwagandha, Manjishta. Talk to us about the formulations, you know, of some of these products that you've launched.
So the basis of the formulation was basically, again, like I said, when I felt as a consumer, when I felt overwhelmed with the amount of the number of brands that were there, and the kind of products that were out there in the market, complex layering, complex ingredients. And should I use a brand that is based in Ayurveda, or should I be using a brand that is backed by science? And I remember Jigar and I talking almost 3 years ago, and I said, is it possible for us to kind of have all of it in one bottle? It was as simple as that. And we took it to our R&D, and they said, yeah, of course. And we said, you know, is it going to compromise on efficacy? Absolutely not. And that's the basis of our formulations. And then of course, you know, it's whether it's different skin types, whether it's hydration levels, that's how we go about our formulations. And then of course we rely highly on our R&D team as well to tell us what are the best ingredients based on our vision. And then of course I'm the first one, I'm the guinea pig. I'm absolutely the first one in the system that will try out anything even before it goes into clinical trials or dermat trials. So,
and then you give the feedback.
Of course, so I try it first. I try them for at least a week, if not more. Sometimes it goes on for a couple of months, depending on how what my feedback is. And then once I give a green signal is when it then goes into clinical and trials and
Yeah, an interesting strategy also adopted over the past 1 year, few new products every few weeks, every few months. So how has that worked for the brand Jigar?
Sure. So look, I think one of the things that both Deepika and I believed from the very beginning is just because there is a celebrity, there shouldn't be a business. A business should exist because of a consumer and a consumer pain point, right? So ideally a business should be solving. So there was a need gap, yeah. There was a need gap, right? So for us, we had to deploy a drop strategy kind of an approach. Of course, as entrepreneurs, you have a read on the market. You believe that there is a certain pain point, but is that truly even existing? You believe that you have a solution for the pain point, but is that truly being loved by our consumers, right? And the best way to sort of do it was to have a piecemeal kind of launches and not just like dump 10 products in the market and, and then see how it goes. Be smart about it. What in tech parlance, and you're a tech journalist, so you'll appreciate this. In tech parlance, what we call lean startup kind of a methodology. So that's something that we deployed even in a consumer product kind of a company, where we start small, take it to market, learn from consumers, iterate, get the feedback, and then we launch more products, right? So for us, year one from a business standpoint has been about that, and I think the drop strategy has worked out very well. It's evidence in the fact that our repeat rates at launch were about 20%. Now in September, the most recent data that we have, our repeat rates are about 60%. Our NPS score at the beginning was 54. After 6 months, scaled to 60, and it's now 65.
Yeah.
And 65, that puts us in the league of some of the best sort of global companies, not just in BPC, but outside BPC as well. Our CSAT scores, or our product rating on each and every of our product on average about 4.3, 4.4 on a scale of 5. So I think there is enough and more of that evidence of our products working, our read on the market being correct, our value proposition being correct, right? So that sets us very, very well for now expansion.
And Deepika mentioned that she is the guinea pig for all the products that are being launched. So what is the kind of feedback that you get from her whenever you're launching a new product? Any interesting anecdotes if you can share, Jigar?
I think it's a very, very deep iterative kind of a process. She's a perfectionist. So unless and until she feels really confident about a certain product, she will not give a go ahead. And that's exactly what we want out of her, right? Because the product needs to reflect her as the entrepreneur, her as the co-founder of the company and the soul of the brand, right? So yeah, I think that's really what we look out for, and that's exactly what she delivers. And as she said, she tests these products before it goes into clinical and dermat.
Yeah.
I mean, dermatological studies, right? So she actually is putting herself at risk and trying all of these products first before it goes into tests, and after those tests is when we launch in the market.
And which one has been your favorite product, and which one has been a consumer favorite, Deepika?
My favorite, again, I mean, just based on my skin type, actually right at the start was Patchouli Glow and Bakuchi All Slip. But that again for me, like now is the time it would come out again for me. Just based on the weather conditions and everything. But normally I have normal to dry skin. Having said that, just based on the fact that I wear makeup, based on the fact that I'm constantly in front of lights, we're shooting outdoor, humid conditions, etc. Mostly my go-to is Lotus Splash, followed by Rose Boost, followed by Ashwagandha Bounce, and then Turmeric Shield. But now is when a Patchouli Glow would come out. Now is when a Bakuchi All would come out.
Yeah. And consumer favorite?
Consumer favorite, I think these three again are consumer favorites. Cucumber Quench, I think, is also one of those I know a lot of people will say Manjishta Mud, and I will come to that. Manjishta Mud again is a consumer favorite, the pack. But I think Cucumber Quench and Licorice Beam are again, you know, if I were to pick something slightly different, I do feel like these two are also consumer favorites.